bipolar, you don't notice it.
Okay.
You don't notice it until it matures fully, and then you have an onset.
Okay.
You can only look back and say, and you start relating. And now for me, now that I'm okay, I look back and I see. Now I understand what was happening here. I understand what was happening here. I understand what was happening here. There's so many instances in your life you can check out and understand. I went into this relationship too fast. The relationship moved too fast because I was manic and I felt like this is how the world should be, and I will get married as fast as possible. Like, why do we have to wait for another year or for a year or 8 months for us to get married? Why don't we just get married now? It's like you're reckless, you're making dangerous decisions, you're spending a lot of money on useless things, and now you can only see that in hindsight, because when you're there and you don't know that you have bipolar and it's right at the onset, the most common feeling that I get is I never felt grounded. I think I repeated this.
Yeah.
I never felt anchored on something.
I do this. Yes. I belong.
Yeah, and growing up, I went to a bunch of primary schools because my parents had a difficult relationship when I was growing up, and I went to a bunch of primary schools. So I've always felt like every environment is very transient for me. So I have learned to adapt to new things, but then I realized that is childhood trauma that I haven't dealt with. I want to feel, yes, this is who I am, and this is what I do. I understand myself as a person, because when you're bipolar, you need to focus. The cure for bipolar, by the way, it's one of the cures, is to focus your mind on something, learning how to be laser focused on something. If you have distractions, because that's what bipolar 1 tends to be, you're so distracted, you're doing almost everything at the same time. When you focus all your attention on one thing that excites you, like it's given me this. I've looked at this logo of your show. It's so beautiful, by the way. And if I look at it and I focus on this, and like, there's so many things I can learn from this logo. Like, like I can see the colors. How do they design this? Is it 3D? It looks so beautiful. So instead of looking at this Obinna show live, and then the next thing I'm looking at the camera, can I start a camera manufacturing company, or can I go into the hotel business?
All over the place.
Or you're all over the place. Learn how to focus, and that's what I have learned. And heavy smoking came with, my brain wants a lot of dopamine because you want to maintain that high, and you can't always be high. You want to have, life has both ups and downs, so you have to manage them, and that's why they give you mood stabilizers when you have bipolar, and they're very expensive meds, by the way. One tablet costs 85 shillings. I was at the chemist yesterday to ask for medicine, to buy medicine, and they were like selling me one tablet at 80 bob for a mood stabilizer, and it's serious medicine, because you need to stay in shape until the doctor tells you now you can stop taking your medication. And that's a very hard journey, because you have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you'll never be out of bipolar, by the way. If you don't cultivate personal discipline, you're not going to get out. And smoking, it's a bad habit. I was smoking a lot.
Who introduced you to smoking?
I introduced myself.
You just bought a cigarette and started?
Yes. The first time I bought a cigarette was, there's the shop outside the gate at Citizen. I went to the lady there. She's called Jerry. I told her, Jerry, nipatie sigara. I was like, Kimani, unataka kujifunza kuvuta sigara, eh? And I was like, wewe nipatie tu sigara.
Nimetumwa.
Nikamwambia tu, wewe nipatie tu sigara. And I went and smoked it, and I was like, okay. It gave me a head rush. I was like, nilinyongwa kiasi, and then I was like, okay, so that's a cigarette. That's what.
But this time you're already using weed.
No.
Oh, but each time you was a weed.
Sikuwa nimeanza weed.
Oh, so you started with the cigarette.
It started with the cigarette, but before that, I had done weed before in 2014, and I had a very bad episode. A very bad high episode with paranoia, and I felt like my heart was beating out of my chest. It happened to me twice. in 2014 and in 2018. So I just decided to stop with weed.
Ulivuta na mabeshte?
Peke yangu tu.
Hey,
I was somewhere in Murang'a.
You just go by yourself. Wacha tu leo nijaribu bangi.
Ndio.
Unakaa chini una kiseti. Ha.
Nikaenda nikabai na nikakaa chini nikakiseti.
Ulijuaje hata penye inabaiwa?
Si uko Gishagi unajua
you guys know who are the pennies.
Gishagi everybody knows everybody in the village. Yeah. You know vijana wanakonga hapa wanavutanga bangi hapa.
So ukaanza.
Hey, and then not even the paranoia wasn't as much as the
heart falling out of your chest.
The heart beating out of my chest. Mpaka nashinda
unaicheki. Unaona roho yangu.
Yeah.
Ukasema never ever.
I never ever.
Then ukapause. So now you are back on cigarettes.
So now na nikatumia tena 2018 kidogo tu
tena.
So
what took you back to take it back? Haukumbuki roho?
Nakumbuka.
Haupeni roho yako. Ama hitanza uko na roho.
You know today I was in the hospital for my clinic and there's a psychologist just told me straight up, Kimani, you're the most foolish person I've ever met.
Why did I say that?
And I was like, that is true. It is. It's hurtful, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, Kimani, you're the most foolish person I've ever met.
Yeah.
How do you know you have bipolar and you go and do drugs? It's like, kwani ujipendi?
Let me tell you a very short story.
Yes.
Kidogo tu. So I don't do any drugs, not even alcohol. The reason is, bro, mini cheesy.
Naturally. Venye uko.
So my dad told me when you have one puff of weed, it stays in your brain for 7 years.
Yes.
Then I told my dad, there's someone who smokes weed in our school. We used to call him Kanga. He was from Kanga High School. He was a genius in mathematics and physics. I was like, me maths na physics naona giza. Boy hii bangi nadhani anafanya na yakanambia, listen, there are some nuts in your head. Ukismoke, the trick is normally to know gani itafungua. Inaweza fungua ya wenda wazimu, uanze kutembea uchi. Ifungua ya genius, ifungue nini. Nikasema, we. Then I got afraid. I'm like, so today if I'm high, how will I behave? So the same thing the doc was looking at you. He's like, bro, you know you're bipolar.
Yeah.
Why are you still smoking weed? Like, that's your weed right there. Like, your weed is in your condition.
You already have weed. The
brain... ugonjwa ya sukari na bado unalamba sukari nguru.
It's pre-installed. Iko. When it's cheesy.
Yeah, when it's cheesy, like...
That makes the two of us.
Yeah. So don't deal like me. I've been afraid. My mom is like, I see my guys like weed. I'm like, hey. The day I will smoke this thing in my backfire.
Hey, uta collect papers Obinna.
Bro, there's a cheese hivi muda. Hey, guy ataleni Obinna. Mimi ukiona hivyo mjue nimerogwa. Yeah, so don't come wewe ni cheesy.
Yeah.
Because of what you're doing. So, you are in cigarettes.
Yes.
Tumerudi kwa weed. How, why, where?
I went back to, you know, cigarettes are a gateway drug.
Yeah, true.
You start smoking, you want to smoke the strong one. That's why weed is called sigara kubwa.
Kwanza kuzivuta mbili kwanza. Niambie ukijaribu hiyo kitu. Umevuta sigara ukajaribu mbili ama tatu hivi at the same time. Come on, man.
See,
you want the head rush. Sasa umevuta moja. Ulika chini kaniambia.
It's not that
sasa something stronger. Sigara kubwa.
Sigara kubwa.
Weed. Angalia roho. Ukarudi kwa ile Morio. Hii sasa ni Ngong Road. Sasa unaishi Ngong Road.
Yes, naishi Ngong Road.
Ukatoka ukaenda kutafuta weed ama pia ulikuwa umejua who is selling it?
Because when you want something
uko na connect. Hey bro, I need your contact. Mimi rasmi nani anauza weed where I'm like, could I?
Congratulations, by the way. If you're in this industry and you're not doing drugs, good for you. You're doing good for yourself. I'm so happy for you. And this is
you're coming there, bro.
Thank you.
You're coming there. Don't. We'll discuss
one
that
step
at
at
a
a time.
Yeah, one step at a time. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
One step at a time. Leo, let's laugh. Yeah. Let's talk so that someone can watch and learn something. But baadaye will follow through baadaye.
Yeah.
Haya, ukaenda ukanunua weed.
Yeah.
Ya pesa ngapi?
50 bob.
Ya 50 ni ngapi?
Shash.
Umenipoteza kidogo, but I take that's maybe one roll or something.
Unajua shash?
No. Mimi usikia kishash kwa bash. There is smoking
kishash ni foreign. It's like foreign weed. I think it's Ethiopian.
There's Ethiopian weed in Kenya.
Yeah.
So inatoka Ethiopia inaletwa.
Si ndio?
That's the government.
I hear that's that's where it comes from.
Oh, I get it. kwa grave ya Haile Selassie. Kwani hujaisikia hiyo story? Why you guys laughing? You've never heard the story that weed ilipatikana kwa grave ya Haile Selassie. Na huko ndio sasa ile ikitoka hiyo imetoka kwa grave ya Haile Selassie, sasa hiyo ndio ile more fire.
Serious?
Yeah. Hatukivuta nafanya watu. Okay, he has stories. So, ukachukua kishash from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Kaenda kwa nyumba. Ama ulivutia tu kanda barabara.
Nikajiseti.
Kwa hao?
Yeah. Ile feeling ya heart beating out, nikasema maybe I was just high. I was just getting high. Nikasema maybe I'll try and conquer this feeling. So nikaanza kusikia, I'm like getting electricity, mini Spider-Man. Nimeanza kutransform. Alafu my delusions sasa zinakujia, unaanza kusikia sasa you're being called to do things by the universe. You're the chosen one.
The universe has been speaking.
Which is the experience of every crazy person. You feel called to do everything and nothing at the same time. Na hiyo ndio ugonjwa sasa.
I feel when Thanos.
I feel really
kuna infinity rings zote.
Finally niko na infinity stones. I'll figure it out. I will finally unite the world and a government that will be under me.
Yo. Imewaka. Zimeriet.
And then unajambia so and so is my girlfriend. So and so is my real father. So and so is my real mother.
Ayopa ukusema Ambare ni demu yako.
Nani?
Ambare. Juu hapo tutakusana.
Ambare.
Bangi yako ayopa kupeleka kwa Ambare.
Ni mwingine by the na yuko IG lakini alini block.
Nani huyo?
Hapana, sitakwambia ni nani.
Sema tu.
Sitaki kuharibu.
Sitaki
kuharibu.
Si bangi zilikuonyesha ni demu yako.
Hapana, sitaki.
Ni nani?
Hata sitafanya hivyo. Hapana.
It's fine.